Joining me right now with reaction, we have Moody's chief economist, John Lonski. Okay, the Republicans do not like this. This is not something the Republican Party has stood for historically. But what I don't get in all this, John, is everybody's all up in arms about these tariffs when, let's face it, we have negotiated some bad deals, and this is an opportunity to change that. What's wrong with it?
And that's the important point. That's why Donald Trump is president today, because this is an issue that wasn't openly discussed and debated by either party for the longest period of time. There is something wrong when you have entire communities wiped out by international trade, and yet we ignore them. We try to make believe that they don't exist, that this isn't a problem. It is a problem. We've got to look at international trade closely, and we want to have international trade be fair.
You know, look, it's been great for those that own the companies and for shareholders. I've said all along, in this kind of economy we've been in, those with capital, those that can invest, have done very, very well. The workers, on the other hand, and yeah, I know that, you know, via their pension plan or their 401k, they may be invested, but the majority of workers at a lot of these places, they didn't have that opportunity. They were not benefited in all this. And I just want to get that sort of equilibrium kind of back, right, where you have some kind of natural relationship between labor and those that are employing the labor, because it feels like that hasn't been entirely fair. And the Democrats, frankly, for all they talk about labor, they've made it unfair.
They have, and they've ignored this issue entirely. I've spoken with major people, supporters of the Democratic Party, and they don't want to talk about it. That's what it comes down to.
Is that because big money, though, is controlling all those campaigns?
Well, that could be part of it, quite frankly. And it's, you know, it's a dogma of both parties. Free trade is always good. But it's not always good for everybody. It may be good for people like ourselves that benefit from it.
Okay, but it's not even free trade. That's what I find kind of annoying, because people say, oh, I'm a free trader, and, you know, Donald Trump is protectionist. But I don't think it's protectionist to just say, okay, you know, India, we send stuff to you, you tax it at some, you know, unrealistic, egregious amount, but we take everything in from you, and we're not going to do that. I mean, we have to have it work both ways.
You know, what would be great to have right now is a listing of the barriers that U.S. exports currently face in the world economy.
Hey,
I think that would be very good.
You guys listening?
Put that
we got to get the brain room on that. We want a list of all the export tariffs.
The average American has to know this, what they're going against.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, do we have comparable barriers to imports for the same type of product?
No, I mean, this is what's so fascinating in the whole NAFTA deal. So right now, Mexico has all kinds of quotas on how much they'll take of our stuff. We don't have any quotas on them. So how is that fair? We'll take all the Mexican goods. They'll only take so much of ours.
So it's that average American worker in the Rust Belt who ends up subsidizing Mexico. Wow. Where Americans elsewhere who don't have exposure to these industries are getting away scot-free, so to speak.
One of the things, and I just mentioned it on the show earlier, and I'm going to go back to it because I was so encouraged about this, and I think it's an interesting way to think about these tariffs. Congressman Sean Duffy, I spoke with him last week, and he was really struggling with the whole tariff thing. You know, I think his sort of traditional sense of things was, you know, we want to be trading with as many people as possible, and even if they give us tariffs, or put tariffs on our goods, you know, still we have the chance to sell stuff and bring stuff in, and cheap consumer goods are great. But he pointed out that Harley-Davidson, which is in Wisconsin, they're going to get hurt by steel tariffs because they're going to have to charge more for their motorcycles. However, he said, look, if we have the opportunity to go right around the world and renegotiate all these agreements, and India, which puts a 100% tariff on those motorcycles that are being sold there, if we get rid of that tariff, we have the opportunity to sell way more motorcycles there in India because they're half price from what they are right now.
That's right. Even if you get that tariff down to 50%, that's progress. And maybe it's worth having imposed these tariffs on steel and aluminum.
So you're coming around as it's okay, huh?
Well, you know, on a case-by-case basis, you know, you have to lean towards free trade in my business. But the reality is that these issues really haven't been debated in the open for the longest period of time. We try to hide them for some reason.
Yeah, I look, every time I go home to my husband's hometown outside Buffalo, I see it. I see all the closed factories there. And, you know, he talks about growing up in the 1970s and how vibrant that economy was and the community was. But all those jobs have disappeared. Driving to my own parents' house up in New Hampshire, we go through lots of small towns in New England that were once thriving. and they're nothing now. They've been so decimated, and it's hard to see because nobody has cared about those people along the way.
Yeah, they're booming in Boston, booming in New York City, but if you go far, not too far from these cities, you're in for a shock. You're looking at economic desolation.
And this is why Pennsylvania is going to be so interesting to watch. That said, Rick Saccone doesn't have the charisma of Donald Trump, and Lamb seems to be looking out for those workers in a way that's similar, shall we say, to Donald Trump. So he may actually fare a bit better there. Any sense of where Pennsylvania is going to end up?
Well, they could perhaps be looking for a change in the party that's going to be representing that area. We'll have to wait and see. I really have no idea as to what the outcome might be, though.
John Lonski, so good to see you. Thank you so much.
Same here.